Right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio. Today we've got Ciaran in the chair. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad.
Good, good. So what's the plan? What are we doing?
So basically I just want to take a decent chunk of length off. I kind of want my hair to sit about just above the shoulders.
Okay.
Still long, but able to style it a bit more. Whereas I feel like it's a bit too long to do anything with it at the moment.
Okay, yeah. Pop and tie it up. Okay, cool, yeah. So we're going to take quite a chunk off though, yeah?
Yeah.
Fair for that, yeah? All right, cool, man. So when I would probably say, I'd probably suggest if you're thinking about taking a good amount off, you want to be sit shoulders. A lot of guys make the mistake of pointing to the neck, right? Now this is good for anyone watching, because I had this a lot in the shop lately. They'll go, I want it to be about here. Now the problem is when you say that to us, if we don't sort of step away and go, hang on a minute, that doesn't sit right. If I was to cut your hair to here, the neck, the section of the neck will be that short.
Yeah.
And you'd end up with like a kind of bob, essentially, right? So I'd always suggest is just saying, maybe pointing towards the sort of the traps. Are they the traps? No, they're not, are they? Are they the traps?
I think so,
they are.
yeah.
I've been in the gym for years. About here, right? Because what that does, it still allows us to keep length from the neckline. All right. So just an FYI, if you ever do it in the future, always ask for about here, because that will, as that pulls forwards, that will sit about here.
Yeah.
So as you pull it and you over-direct it back, that will sit about here. All right? Okay. So I'd probably say for you then, if you're looking to kind of take it short, shoulder length, I'd say it's about here. Would be quite nice for you. Now, do you want to be able to wear it down and be able to just kind of run your fingers through it and stuff like that? Yeah,
I think so,
shape and whatnot.
Just a bit more movement and texture, I think.
Okay, yeah, cool. That's fine, mate. That's fine. Have you got any sort of style you'd like to have it in then? Like, are you happy with the sort of off-centre parting, or do you want to be able to just kind of flip it both ways and let it fall?
Yeah, I don't love the off-centre parting, to be honest.
Is that convenience?
Yeah, if I'm honest.
That's fine. I mean, that makes sense, yeah. Okay, so if we were to cut it so it was just kind of like a longer length all over, that would allow you to kind of maybe diffuse it a little bit or blow dry it a little bit and then or leave it to dry naturally, and you can just, I mean, to be honest with you, mate, I think you'd suit a little bit of movement through the top as well. You know, if it was just flicked over to one side or something like that, I think it would look quite nice. You've got grey hair, like lovely colour as well. You've got, I don't know if you can probably see yourself, but you've got loads of light tones, darker tones, you've got like loads of different kind of like facets when the light hits it. So I think you can show that off would be quite nice. I mean, I've got nothing apart from dark and grey, so I don't get any of that movement that you get, you know what I mean? So utilise it if you can. And then, I think maybe just cutting into a sort of like a medium length and a versatile length would be quite good for you, yeah? All right, cool, yeah. Have you got any reference photos you want to show me, or are you quite happy to go with what we said?
I trust you, to be honest.
Okay.
I feel like...
Famous last words, you know?
Yeah.
We did say we're on the buzz cut era today, right? You know what I mean? Nah, it's all good, man, okay. Well, if you're happy to do that, then... Yeah. Sweet. Very quick consultation, that was quick. Yeah. So hopefully, if anyone's watching, right, this is how quick a consultation can be if you build that straight sort of communication with your clients. Because, you know, I've only just met Ciaran, you literally walked in, we mic'd you up, done it before, shot, and that was it, wasn't it? We haven't spoken before. I think you were chatting to Carl outside for a bit, weren't you? But I wasn't part of that conversation. But I think if you just get on that level with them and that you kind of use your own understanding of like sort of like a transformation, for example, or just knowing where the client wants. Like Ciaran seems quite chilled, quite laid back. He was open to suggestion, you could tell as well. And then I just kind of added in a bit of my professional understanding of hair. I think it might have put you at ease, and then you let me do it. But a consultation can literally take like this long. I think it was about 3 minutes or something, wasn't it? You know what I mean? So even if you are on a half an hour, 45-minute base appointment time, you can add a consultation in. So just try and, if you can, anyone watching, just throw these consultations in. It can be as quick as this. All right. So what we'll do, we'll get you washed, conditioned, and then we'll get cracking. All right.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Right, guys. So we just shampooed and conditioned Ciaran's hair. But what we're going to do now is we're going to start by sectioning the hair off. So I'm going to start this with a horseshoe section because I want to separate the top to the back and sides. I'm going to start cutting in some shape. So we're going to maintain a lot of length in Ciaran's hair, but we're also going to start cutting in some nicer, squarer layers that will allow them to have a little bit of movement, a little bit of flow, a little bit of separation throughout the hairstyle, but also maintain some good length. So more than doing like what we'd class as maybe like a standard one length cut, and then adding some layers in from there, that could be done. But this is my preferred method of cutting longer hair, personally. I like the square element it gives on every angle when it's styled as well. But also I like the fact that it grows out nicely as well. One length cuts grow out nicely too, but I find it can get a bit heavy, top heavy. So I just try and give a bit of longevity for the hairstyle as well. So yeah, that's why I do sort of palm to palm cutting for this, even for this length as well, not just for medium lengths. Now Ciaran's really been looking after his hair. We were having a chat at the backwash, and I was asking him about, you know, his sort of shampoo and conditioning method and how long he's been looking after it. And I'll be honest with you guys, right? You can really tell he's looked after it. Not a single tangle in the hair, right? Did you feel any sort of uncomfortableness when we were shampooing and conditioning or anything like that?
Not at all, really, yeah. Not compared to what I've had before.
Okay. Well, honestly, because you did say you're really gentle with the hair, didn't you? That's what you said to me, yeah.
Bit of haircut trauma in
Yeah, I mean, that can happen, right? Now, even look at this, right? I've just folded this right into the top, right? And I'm just slowly pulling it out. It's not even snapping. You can't hear any snapping, any breakage or nothing. Look. That's how good the condition of Ciaran's hair is. See, it's gone like that because I've just basically tucked it into a mohawk, right? That's the reason why that's gone like that. It's all just combing out nicely, which is what we need, you know? And the thing is, you know, even though we are taking quite a fair amount of length off Ciaran's hair, it's got to be healthy, you know? Even the freshly cut hair has got to be healthy. So all the hard work you've put in, mate, has been worth it. Because wait until you see the condition of your hair after this cut. You know, we're taking it to like the sort of medium. We're taking basically to the mid-length now. We're taking the ends off. So they're usually where, you know, your focus point is the mid-length to the ends when you are looking after your hair at this length, right? And you've obviously done that. So the difference that you'll get now in terms of the finish you'll get will be so nice. You'll be so surprised how healthy it looks as well. All right, so hats off for you looking after it, mate, honestly. Makes a big difference. Well, there's my horseshoe. Drops a little bit, but we're saying the shape of Ciaran's head's allowed me to keep that horseshoe at a reasonably sort of high angle, really. But it's right at the recession point, and it does drop down a bit at the crown, so it's perfect. Right, so traps, yeah? That's where we're going to. I hope that's the right word.
I'm pretty sure it
Traps could be down here somewhere. Yeah. You know? So all we're going to is these parts of the body here, okay, whatever they're called. I'm going to do 2 finger width sections because we're taking quite a lot of length. So as you can see, they start from the recession. It doesn't start from the temple. There we go, straight down there, see? And look where that's going to fall to. So you can take a good amount off, right? So you pull this down, a bit wet, so don't put too much tension on because you'll be stretching it. As you can see, it's pulling from the root. So if I put that much tension, cut it there, that'll spring back up, okay? So just grab it in there with enough tension that you can hold it between your fingers. It's essentially all you need to do. So pull this down. Get into about there, okay? There we go. Perfect length. Take a section right down this, so slide your comb right down the middle of that previous section and pull over. Well, that's where you get your guide from. You don't need to drag all that hair in. Just gets a bit messy and a bit clumpy then. Pull it out. There's our guide. Straight down. Again, slide right down middle of that section, pull the hair away and get your guide. There we go. Straight out. So Ciaran, what's the reason for getting long hair, male, having long hair?
I just fancy something different, to be honest.
Nice.
I wasn't the most upkeeping of like short fades, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like if you really want it to look good, you got to go every like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just kind of got bored of the same look really and started growing, and then lockdown happened and it seemed like the perfect thing to carry on with.
Yeah, too right, yeah.
Yeah, that awkward stage like completely inside. So.
Yeah. Bonus, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, man. And then you just kind of kept it, enjoyed it, and then, I mean, what made you start like being a bit more thoughtful about it? Like, what made you start actually genuinely caring about it? Or have you always looked after your hair and scalp? Like, have you always done that, even when it was short?
Yeah, I think I didn't for a bit, and then my hair was always like a bit like stiff and strawy.
Oh, okay.
And then I sort of, you know, my mum's got similar hair.
Yeah.
Sort of spoke to her and yeah, just slowly started conditioning more and realised that it helped so much more.
Right.
And then I just got interested in like, I don't know, hair masks and oils and stuff.
Oh, nice. 100%. But it's nice for your hair to feel nice though, isn't it? You know, you don't want it to feel like dry or in there, because it also stops you from being able to actually look after it as well, doesn't it? You know what I mean? The drier it is, it makes it harder to manage.
Yeah, definitely. And like, obviously I don't have like split ends really, to be honest.
I'd say the only thing you had at the very start when you came in was a bit of frizzle on the top.
Yeah.
But that could just be from the weather or anything, you know what I mean? Or the way you may have dried it or something, you know what I mean, recently. But I mean, in overall, it's incredible condition, mate. Genuinely, it really is. For this length of hair, it really, really is.
I think my mum wishes I was a girl sometimes because of the hair.
Have you not let her plait your hair before?
I let my girlfriend do it once for last year Halloween when it was like a Viking. But yeah, honestly, a plait is ideal because it just kind of stays where it's meant to be.
Do you know what's also quite nice about a plait, which is a bit of a kind of, I'd say it could be an interesting behind the scenes way of getting curly hair. You get someone to do a plait for you and then just take it out the next day and you get wave. You know what I mean? So if you really want wave in your hair, it's long, get someone to plait it while it's wet, let it dry and then take it out and just give it a slight little brush through. And you get like a nice little sort of beach wave, don't you? You know what I mean? So that's always quite good. So what sorts of products were you using on your hair then, or are you using on your hair currently? What types of products?
As in like shampoo or just like...
Yeah, or just everything really, mate. Yeah. I mean, how are you maintaining such a healthy head of hair?
I think, obviously, with shampoo and conditioner, like I've tried lots of brands.
Yeah.
I think it is genuinely just about finding the one that suits your hair.
Yeah.
I kind of bounce between like nourishing ones and like repairing.
Oh, okay.
You don't always want repair because I feel like if you're constantly doing that, your hair, I don't know, just feels a bit too intense on it. And then I forget the brand name, but it's like a nourishing oil. Like after a wash, is really good. And like I've done coconut oil masks as well.
Have you ever tried like sort of just like raw sort of like coconut oil? Like have you ever tried that?
Yeah,
before? Like, out of a tub, like
just out of a pot.
Yeah. You tried that before, yeah?
Yeah, just buy it from the shop.
Yeah.
I think you have to like you stick it in the microwave for a slightly like just to get it into like liquid.
I use that for when I have any tattoos. I use that on the skin for any tattoos that I get done.
Right, okay.
Just keeps the skin sort of moisturised, doesn't it, essentially, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, if you wanted to make it like properly runny, like an actual like oil,
it does come out.
Microwave for like 10 seconds or 20 seconds or something, yeah.
Don't do it too long and then put it straight on.
I was going to say it could get a bit too oily then, couldn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah. No, it's interesting. I find it's quite interesting because it's like it's an interesting sort of mix, because a lot of people like to use either masks or they like to use oils or they like to use like leave-in conditioners or whatever they prefer to use. I find it does come down, like you said, it comes down to personal preference in the end, doesn't it? So whatever you like the sort of feel of or the look of or the smell of as well, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not always down to like the brand name or anything. It's about like the smells, the feeling of it. A lot of that, isn't it? You've got to kind of get used to that and enjoy that before you do anything else.
Yeah. I don't think you have to go mega expensive either.
No, you don't.
You can just find like the right thing.
Yeah, I came by yesterday. Yeah. So basically, my hair sort of when I'm combing it too much. So how to drop down.
Put the edges in now.
For example. So
use the sides as a guide.
Essentially a bit of
Just work all this way around.
Shorter on the sides, higher on top, and I sort of do that. So my hair, I was probably taking about.
Fucking cutting into the edges now.
Already feels less heavy.
It really is. It really will. You'll notice it a lot when you wake up as well tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
Get some volume on it, so.
Make sure you get all them little curly bits. And just point cutting as well. Just because the shorter you go as well, the thicker your hair is. My God, it really is.
You're looking to get it longer, or do you want to keep it at this length?
Not longer than this. Yeah.
So what I'm seeing, can I
Yeah, of course, go for it.
So what I'm seeing is, length, what we could do is, it'd be very
a bit like what we did when we started off. We started on the right hand side because I'm right-handed, and we used that as the guide.
Yes.
So, what we
keeping his hair nice and straight, so I'm not lowering his head down or anything, I'm not tilting it over, keeping it as he is, because I want this to fall as he stands, as a natural sort of head shape as well.
That's what it kind of looks like when I washed the other day. Like you see how I think it's too much.
And just keeping his head nice and straight, and just keeping seeing a little bit of the neck hair there. Just going to point cut into them as well. And then I'm going to deep point cut into this, just to give a really nice broken up ends as well, like this. See? So the ends sit really nice and broken. Especially for the thickness of Ciaran's hair, I don't want it to sit blunt looking, you know? I want it to sit very natural, very, as though he has another haircut, essentially.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And working all the way around like this, as we see we get to that. This side as well, so it sits evenly both sides. Now we do the check in the mirror of this as well though. What we'll do once we've cut this in properly, you're going to go over it, just a once over, starting from the left to the right as like a cross check, make sure it's sitting the same way, working all the way around, seeing if I need to point cut into any other bits as well.
think I saw one of the videos that you have on YouTube when you talk about trim it to the front, then it actually makes it look bigger at the back.
Right, so let's just do a visual check now in the mirror. Go down, and I'm also going to do a visual check, lean it in too as well, and pull this into the middle. So I'm going to take the same section from here and pull this in and make sure it matches in the middle.
Need the length in it to have some sort of structure, body to it.
There we go. I'm happy with that. Happy with the length? Yeah. That's essentially the length it's going to be now. Yeah? Cool?
Feels different already.
Does it? Looks different as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a little bit of razor work now. So I mean, I could go to town on your hair, man. I mean, I wish we had like thicker vision or something, you know, where you could actually feel how thick the hair is.
I feel like you can only tell when it's like proper dry.
Yeah, 100%, yeah, definitely. So I'm going to take some sections and just from like sort of just past halfway, I'm going to use the razor and I'm just sliding like this, and just to thin the little bits out, you see. Taking that much off, but mate, you can't even tell, right? You can't even tell it's gone. Little section underneath here as well, just through here, tiny bit just at the ends, okay? So higher up here, don't forget this hair's going to be covered by the top. So we pull this over, from halfway down, slide to my fingers like that. So I'm not doing loads, just taking a bit off. A little bit lower down into the centre, and take again, we can take the same amount off because the back's so thick. And at the very bottom, we just do towards the ends, just to break the ends up a little bit. It's a bit like we were doing with this pre-cut before. And what you find, look, starts to get movement in there. See, that's what we're looking for, that little bit of movement. The top is then going to be the thing that falls into the sides to create even more movement. But look at that side now, compared to that side. It doesn't move at all. So look at the razor's done. See, it's still very heavy. There, just a few little bits, and that falls now, okay? Same thing. You can almost see it, the difference straight away.
Okay. Well, let's go for that vision. Is the front too long?
Right, all the way through. As we get to the bottom, just the ends.
Yeah, that's not what I want. Yeah.
That just gives you that little bit of movement in the hair and thins it out a little bit for you as well. Now, through the top, I'm not going to do this on a sort of block graduation. I'm going to do this horizontal section. I'm going to do vertical section for this because I want the top to fall into the sides and the back. Okay? I'm going to do a section just off centre. I don't want this to fall down the middle. I'm going to do one section just off left centre. 2 finger width sections again through the top. If you pull this back, we find our guide from the right hand side. Okay? Now the angle I want this to fall in at is just at the round of the head. So there's my guide. I'm going to take it off on that angle, okay? What that'll do, that'll fall a touch higher and give Ciaran a bit more movement. It'll graduate the top though, but it'll give him more movement as well. So that'll fall in there like that. 2 finger width sections on the top because I'm not losing loads of length. Pull this out. There we go, got our guides from both sides. Top and bottom, same angle, cut to match, okay? Simple as that. Take our section from, same as before, through the middle of the last section. And then we've got our guides from the front and from either side as well. There we go.
So I'd say about 3 months ago? Yeah, if not maybe 4.
Section again, just to the crown here. Same angle as well.
And that shape would be like,
still like
more that kind of thing.
It's going to be the same shape, but you see all these little bits sticking out.
Now through the back, looking at this, here we go.
That's what creates the shape.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But
and you know, because I felt
90 degree at the back here.
This part here, like it feels
straight out.
There's way more length.
No. So it goes from a 45 degree angle to a 90 degree angle at the back. And look where that falls in nicely. So that's given Ciaran still a lot of length, but still a bit of a layer sitting in there. We're going to take the middle short as well, so that'll just nicely graduate. Same thing again. So how I'm going to do this is the easiest way to balance these both out is to start from the right hand side guide. So 90 degree here, then 45 to here. 2 finger width in length.
do you want me to just go through and do the shape?
Pull this out.
I mean, I'm not really going to touch
Choose this guide. a diagonal section. It's just a really easy way of keeping it all level and following the same guide. Because if you start from the right hand side, especially if you're not used to doing longer hair, if you start from the right hand side now, you're just trying to hopefully matching the angle from the other side. It can be quite difficult at first. There's our guide, bottom to top. So again, we're just following guides, right?
There might not be enough structure and length in it for it to sit down nicely.
Yeah, our guide from underneath. There we go. Our guide from the top. Bang on. It's a nice way of matching up the angles, making sure it becomes symmetrical. That's what we need. We need symmetry in this haircut. We don't want asymmetry. There you go. Last section now. Go back to the recession point. Take a section just before that for our guide as well. So we've got 3 guides. Top, bottom, and through the section.
Like a clever way to cut it. So like, that's my theory was to leave the front. Yeah, but what I find is that it's got, when I had it cut.
That matches both sides. Fine. Now finally, through the centre. Well, this is going to give a nice shorter layer, so it falls and allows Ciaran to move it over. So just take a section from the left hand side, just because it's easy, because the way my fingers are coming in. What you're going to find is a nice little point. Same width sections, 2 fingers. Pick it up, straight up.
You from the middle?
Like so.
I am Birmingham, yeah.
Did you come from there?
There we go.
No,
side.
I lived in Hackney Downs.
There we go.
So.
Pick it up.
I'm from Reading.
Oh, okay. You live here now?
No, from just like.
Yes.
It's a little bit
Pull this right out across the crown. Straight out.
Not really too much more to do otherwise, maybe.
So we do now, the razor. It's going to give a nice little bit of fall. So we're going to do this horizontally, because we've done vertical sections to connection. So let's do horizontal section, a texturizing technique, and that'll really help. Same idea as before. Keep the fringe out of the way, because that's always weaker.
That's it. It's just grown out.
Yeah.
Same again.
Or is that freshly cut?
Or just after the halfway point. Obviously, I'm not going to cut a fringe in for this, because we want this bit to sit a bit heavier.
It's like better this side than this side, trimming a little bit.
Yeah, that's that when it does that.
A little bit like that. Different angles, different heights. I'm never going past the centre here.
It just feels like it's just like too much into it.
Yeah. When it's always fluffing out and stuff. With limit all, let me connect this in the best I can.
I was just leaning your head back for me, sir.
Process it, because it can be quite hard to process.
I'm going to go from the same side. I'm just going to bring it over a little bit. Go this way, because you get a bit more volume this way. Okay. I go from left to right. I think you get a bit more volume, because your natural pattern is this side. And you just to bring it across like that a little bit and just mess it up. I find that you get a really nice, just a zigzag pattern, just with your fingers like that. I think that will sit really nice for you. So how's the length?
Yeah, perfect.
Happy, yeah? Happy with the shape?
Yeah, solid.
Sweet. What I'm going to do now is just finish off at the sideburns, just tidy them up. I won't cut into the neck hair and often, because I feel like that would just add more work for you.
Yeah.
I'll just sort the sideburns out and make them fall nicely into the beard as well, alright? So what I'm going to do here, on Ciaran's hair, do you see the way, just the top of his ears, he's got all this kind of frizz. I'm just going to take that away from him, because you're never going to see that. It's not an undercut. I think that would just make his life a lot easier without that frizz there.
After I
Just cutting it away for him,
and then like,
just so it doesn't sit too frizzy.
And then if I,
just like that.
After about, when I wash my hair, it's about
there we go.
day 3 when my hair. I'm not cutting it like too high into the ear, I'm just cutting it to the top of the ear, so it still looks natural and long. I'm just going to try and make your life a bit easier with them little frizzy bits, mate. Sweet man. Right, what I'll do is I'm going to put a little bit of product in this, and now this is going to be more for like the maintenance and the moisture of it really, okay? So I'm going to put this double butter cream in. Now this is really good. You've got, you're looking after your hair, right? This is really, it's like a daily moisturiser for your hair. Okay. So imagine it just looking after for your face. It's the same kind of thing, right? So I'm going to do, not that much, right? I'm going to take half of it, put it on the back of my hand, just like that. Yeah, so
I'm going to layer this in. So the first bit I've got on my hair now, if you flip your hair forwards for me if you don't mind, so just give it a good flick forwards. Perfect. I'm going to weight this in to the hair here like that. I'll flip it all the way back for me if you don't mind. The rest of it just goes through here now.
layering this in. What have I got on my hands? And the last I've got on the back now. Take your hands to the side for me. Just going to start to scrunch this in a bit. Other side for me as well. Scrunch this in like so. And just work it through. As you can see, look, it's not tangling at all. It's getting a really nice flow to it. And then what we'll do is, once we come to finishing it off, I'm going to find a little natural part on the left-hand side. Very natural looking. There's no actual line in there. It just skips all the way through like that. I'm going to just diffuse this very, very slightly, just to simply leave it to dry naturally. I'm just going to dry this over like this. I'm not trying to create curl or anything. I'm just going to literally dry his hair off a touch. A sort of sped up, towel dried finish, alright? Not a load of heat on it. I'm just trying to dry it off a touch for him. A little bit behind the ear, coming over the top of it like that, a little bit to out your face. And then just let that fall natural and just leave it basically, mate. That's all you need to do. Are you happy with the length? Happy with the shape?
Yeah? Spot on, man.
It's nice, doesn't it, man?
Yeah.
Here we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this. Just going to take this off you a second. Just going to pop this onto there a second, just for 1 second. Like so. And I want you to hold the mirror for me. And I want you to have a look at the hair from a proper true angle, okay? So I want you to look in that mirror to see yourself in the main mirror on the wall, okay? Yeah, so that's the length.
Damn.
Okay, so it all just sits. Nice length, nice angle. But look what you've got. You've got just a lot of the little layers in there, nothing major. Something that just gives you a little bit of shape and a little bit of movement. That's all it does.
Yeah, there's really nice texture in there.
It's nice, and it's not just like one big long length anymore. You know what I mean? You could, if you wanted to, you could probably put a lot more texture in that if you really wanted to. But I think for the purpose of today, I want you to see the length more than anything else, you know, what we've cut it to, because that's the main thing really.
Yeah.
And what you can imagine, you could just scrunch that. You can see all these little short layers with the razor we put in there, the razor. You could probably scrunch that up and let that fall in nicely if you wanted to, you know what I mean? It depends on what you like. But yeah, that's it. Essentially tuck it behind the ear if you want to as well. Bring the section above the ear over, and that makes it look as though it's not tucked behind the ear. And you can have a nice finish on it as well.
Awesome, man.
Happy, yeah?
Yeah, really happy, honestly.
Awesome, thanks man. Appreciate that, Ciaran.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, mate.